Theater 5 presents Around the Corner from Nowhere.
No, Miss Phelps, he ain't here.
Look around again, Barney. I know he's there. You can't miss him. Tall, dark, and irresponsible. Has 5 legs. 3 of them belong to that bar stool he's sitting on.
Gee, Miss Phelps, you know this joint. This time of day, it's practically empty.
You shouldn't have said practically.
Give practically a message for me.
Sure, if that is, when I see him.
The city editor expected him to check in over an hour ago, carrying his little shutter and his little flash bulbs. The city editor wasn't happy, Barney.
Hey, your boss is sore.
So he'll fire me. You know something, Barney? Ricky, you've either been serving bigger onions or smaller martini glasses. And why don't you have any decent music in that jukebox?
Tell Ted not to worry. I covered up.
All the way, I hope. Some sisters like Lucy Phelps should be held under a blanket until smothered. Ah, peace. It's wonderful.
Will you please take this phone? I don't like being caught in the middle here.
Barney, when you see Wonder Boy, give him another message.
Yeah, sure, Miss Phelps.
Just say, Lucy said, "Boy, have I got a girl for you."
Give me that. Hello, Lucy. Who is she? What's her name?
Why, Ted, what luck. You just drop in.
Who's the doll?
Very pretty. But I'll level with you, she's a lousy conversationalist. You see, she happens to be very dead.
Huh?
Has been for a couple of hours. Murder. I'm writing the human interest angle. Now, in the interest of your job, I suggest you meet me at the morgue and start snapping a few pictures.
Of all the sneaky...
You know where the morgue is, sweetie? You've been there before. Oh, I admit it's not the most cheerful spot in the city, but I've got a flash for you. Standing in line at the unemployment office can be pretty deadly, too.
A trip to the morgue. Oh, just what I need to cheer me up. See if you can find me a bigger glass and a smaller onion.
Look, if you'll pardon me, you're acting like a jerk. So your girl walked out on you. There'll be others. You want my opinion? You're well rid of that one.
Nobody asked your opinion.
I admit she wasn't bad to look at, but did she ever stop talking, huh?
Mm-hmm. At all the right times.
Well, you'd be better off with a nice, quiet type anyway. Change of pace. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe you got something.
Like, that girl at the morgue.
Now, wait a minute.
Well, think of the advantages. Good listener, no back talk, and for an extra added attraction, you keep your job on the paper.
Yeah. Okay, you win. I'll call Lucy. Tell her I'm on my way. Got change for the booth?
I'll go on and use this phone.
Oh, thanks. What's the morgue number? Should be right here in my little black book. Oh, black. Very appropriate. Here, AC2. Oh, you're right. I was acting like a jerk, tossing over my job, and for who? She did talk too much. Oh, it's a beautiful world, Barney. Full of lots of beautiful girls. There's probably a special one waiting just for me right around the corner.
When you meet her, bring her in. Drinks on the house.
Hello?
Hello, is this...
Who did you want to speak to?
I guess I dialed the wrong number. I'm sorry. I'm sure I have.
I'm sorry, too.
I didn't disturb you, did I?
I wasn't doing much of anything. It's all right. As a matter of fact, I was feeling a little lonely.
A pretty girl like you, home, all alone?
How do you know I'm pretty?
Hey, say goodbye and hang up.
Shh, go away. This is important.
So's your job.
I don't suppose you'd care to meet me at Barney's bar.
What's the address?
There are usually lots of people, plenty of light, and the cop on the beat drops in every once in a while.
I didn't ask you that. I just asked for the address.
Corner of Spring and West End.
I'm practically around the corner from there.
I think she's coming. Hey, Barney. I think she's coming.
And I think you're nuts. Tall, dark, and irresponsible. Lucy was right.
Oh, no, you didn't hear that voice. So young and sort of fuzzy around the edges. The kind of voice that belongs to a girl who wears perfume behind her ears and bruises easy. And you know what I'm going to do?
What?
Ball her out for making a date to meet a stranger, and then I'll buy her dinner.
Oh, brother.
Where are you going?
Out to dinner. Personally, I can't stand the food in this joint. Hey, why don't you go to the morgue and take those pictures, huh?
What's the rush? That stiff isn't going anywhere, and neither am I. Not until I meet her. It's a miracle. Cassie, what number did you play?
Number 6.
15 minutes ago, I was complaining because I couldn't find any decent music in that noise box. And you come in, put in a dime, and listen. Of course, 15 minutes ago, I complained about a lot of things. I hadn't met you then.
Pretty song.
Pretty girl.
I think I remember some of the words at the end. I think they go, and so it seems that we have lived before and laughed before and loved before, but who knows where or when.
Can't prove it by me, but I like the sentiment.
Do you believe it, Ted?
What?
That maybe we, people I mean, lived before and laughed before and can love again? I must be cuckoo. What am I doing here?
Please, don't go.
You don't understand.
Oh, sure I do. You're a nice girl, and you're a little embarrassed at being a telephone pickup. I know you've never done anything like this before, but, well, I can't help being glad you were down in the dumps and lonely when I dialed that wrong number. You wouldn't have come otherwise.
You don't know how lonely. You don't know.
That's it. Sit down.
You want to order something?
I better warn you, food's not the greatest. Even Barney, he owns the place, eats across the street. But a cheeseburger won't kill you, I guarantee it.
No, I'm sure it won't kill me.
I'll make a cheeseburger, Jeannie. Coffee?
Please.
And coffee.
Why didn't you just say the usual? I would have known. The usual coming up.
I lied to you on the phone when I told you the place was full of people. Well, it is, but never at this hour. As for the cop, he drops in, but not until later.
There's just the two of us.
Mm-hmm. And if nobody ever wrote music to those simple words, they should have. Dance with me, Cassie. Say, I don't even know your last name. Mine's Clark, Ted Clark.
I'm Cassie Turner.
Dance with me, Cassie Turner.
Will you promise to keep on talking?
What do you want to talk about?
Anything, everything. Let's talk fast and make believe we're dancing on a big stone on the edge of a big cliff. And the stone is balancing itself on a dime, and we might go over into nothing any minute.
Okay. Come on, dance with me. All of a sudden, there's nothing I want more than to hold you.
Oh, yes. Hold me, Ted. Please hold me. And if you feel me slipping, please, oh, please, don't let me go.
Theodore Roosevelt once offered a memorable prayer at the conclusion of a speech. He said, "We reverently thank the Almighty that we are at peace with the nations of mankind, and we firmly intend that our policy shall be such as to continue unbroken these international relations of mutual respect and goodwill." Today, we offer a similar prayer that we may form even stronger international relations of mutual respect and goodwill with all the nations of the earth. It is our sincere desire that we may accomplish this, and it is the duty of each of us to do his utmost to make this possible. Nothing of permanent value can be accomplished without the self-sacrifice and determined efforts of us all.
I warned you about the food.
I've never tasted anything so good.
You're kidding.
Honest. Maybe I have had better. Maybe I just never noticed.
Cassie.
So many little things I never noticed or appreciated.
What's wrong, Cassie? Let me help you.
We take so many little things for granted. Like being able to turn on a lamp when it gets dark. Can you imagine what it would be like, Ted, to be in the dark and not be able to turn on a light? It scares me. Let's talk about you. When you picked up that phone earlier and dialed that number, who were you really calling? A girl?
Yeah. Biologically speaking, I guess Lucy would be considered a girl. She's a reporter on the newspaper where I work. I was supposed to meet her somewhere. I'll think up a good excuse why I couldn't make it. Here. And a pen to go with it.
What's that for?
That magic number I dialed. Your number. I'll never remember it. Write it down for me.
If you really want it. There.
Thanks. I feel better now. I don't want to lose you, Cassie.
That paper you work on, tell me what you do.
I'll even show you. One picture's worth 1,000 words.
Oh, no.
I didn't mean to frighten you. I just took a time shot.
Oh, you had no right. No right. I didn't want my picture taken.
Oh, Cassie, I'm sorry. I really am.
It probably won't come out anyway.
Oh, it has to come out. Fast film, slow exposure. But I'll tear it up if you don't like it.
It may not be anything you'll want to keep.
Oh, don't bet on it. You're beautiful. Little pale, maybe. Personally, I don't think a little lipstick ever hurt anybody. I guess that's the makeup craze these days. But you look a little half dead this way, honey.
What did you say? Oh, look what I did.
Oh, so you knocked over a cup of coffee. It's not a major catastrophe. It was hot, though. Didn't burn yourself, did you?
I didn't feel anything. Not a thing. Don't try to stop me this time, please. There's somewhere I have to go, and I'm not as lucky as you. There's not an excuse in the world that can get me out of it.
I won't let you go until you tell me what's scaring you. Something is. You practically admitted it before.
Don't get mixed up in this.
If you're in any kind of trouble, count me in. Do you hear me, Cassie?
Do you remember what you said before? That I was a nice girl and maybe a little embarrassed at being a telephone pickup? You don't know anything about me, Ted. Nice girls don't get mixed up with men like Tony Carr.
Tony?
Carr, you know the name, if you work on a newspaper. He's been taking up a lot of space in them lately.
You in that hood? I can't believe it.
Maybe you even took a picture of him. Every other photographer has. He's very photogenic. Glamour boy of the underworld. It's not hard for a girl to have been fool enough to be interested in someone like him. Lately, the Department of Justice has been interested in him, too. They asked me a lot of questions. I answered everything I knew.
So that's why you're afraid. Oh, listen, Cassie, and trust me. I won't let anything happen to you, I promise.
There's nothing you can do. I was right the first time. I shouldn't have come. It was all wrong. I got to get out of here.
Cassie, wait. Cassie!
Didn't you forget something, Mr. Clark?
Please, Jeannie, there's a girl.
Oh, there always is with you.
Now,
How about giving the home talent a look sometime?
No, get out of my way. I'll lose her.
What about your camera? Leave that lying around. You lose that, too.
Oh.
Here.
Thanks.
Now pay for the cheeseburger and coffee, and I'll say thanks.
Oh, for crying out loud.
No credit without an okay from Barney. Come on, 60 cents for a cheeseburger.
You're so conscientious about not giving credit without an okay from the boss, and you shortchange him. That was 2 cheeseburgers, 2 coffees.
You trying to be funny?
Oh, I don't have time to argue. That'll more than cover it when you discover the mistake. Keep the rest for a tip.
1 cheeseburger, 1 coffee. That's what you asked for. That's what you got.
And you couldn't find her?
It was as if she had never showed up, Barney.
Like the way you never showed up at the morgue.
Oh, quit bugging me. So I'll be canned. Right now, all I want is to find her. She's in bad trouble.
She would be, mixed up with a character like Tony Carr.
But she's not the type. Take my word for it. I don't know how it happened. She probably doesn't either. I wanted to protect her, but even when I danced with her, she seemed so kind of far away. I can't explain it.
You danced with her? To that junk? Hey, you must be in better shape than I thought. What number?
Number 6. I distinctly remember she said it was number 6 in the jukebox. The music played and we danced.
To that?
No, of course not. Not that. It wasn't that.
Hey, what are you trying to do? Ruin my machine?
How do you stop that noise? Stop
Easy.
it!
Pull out the plug. Come on, pal. Take it easy. I'll fix you something.
Oh, it was another song. Why isn't it there now?
Oh, Mr. Clark, you ran out so fast I didn't give you your change.
Barney, tell her how much you charge for 2 cheeseburgers and 2 cups...
1 cheeseburger, 1 coffee. I ought to know. I served you.
And the girl.
What girl?
Are you trying to
Look,
tell me...
you ordered the usual. I served the usual. Just to you. Period.
She's out of her mind.
Maybe you're a little drunk, Mr. Clark.
No, take it easy. Don't get riled, Ted. But you're sure? I mean, well, no, you did belt a few before I left.
Okay. Let me have the phone. I'll prove it. Her number, she wrote it down for me. Now, here it is. I should have tried calling her before. AC23020. Oh, great sense of humor that Jeannie's got. Trying to tell me.
City Morgue.
Oh, what's the matter with me? The numbers must be very similar. That's how the mistake happened the first time. Careful. I'll be more careful this time. 23020. That's what she gave me. I'll get her now. This time she'll answer.
City Morgue. Hello? Hello? This is the City Morgue. Ted, don't you think you had enough?
How'll I find her now, Barney? She needs me. I know it. She was so upset. She even made a mistake writing down her own telephone number.
Well, I've been stood up in better places.
Oh, lay off, Lucy.
Okay, what happened? You're in an accident? Hit by a bottle?
I said...
He is feeling a little sick, Miss Phelps.
What's wrong?
Skip it.
Don't ask me why I did it, but I had the editor send over another photographer and made up some kind of excuse to save your neck. You must bring out the maternal instinct in me. Hey, you do look awful. It's the same color as that Turner girl on the slab.
What did you say? What did you say?
Turner, Cassie Turner. Too bad. Only 21. And pretty. The police know who did it. They booked him for murder.
Tony Carr.
How did you know? Say, what's the matter with you two? You both look sick.
I was with her. I danced with her. I held her in my arms.
You knew that kid? Oh, I'm sorry, Ted.
She was here. Barney's place, not an hour ago.
Oh, come off it. I knew where she was an hour ago. The same place she is now, at the City Morgue.
Look, Ted, it don't make sense. I mean, maybe you read about this girl somewheres, and like I said, you had been drinking.
I've got a negative in this camera that'll prove I wasn't drunk and I'm not crazy. Lucy, want to see how your corpse looks sitting at a table eating a cheeseburger? Come with me to the lab. Okay, that's long enough in the developer. Now let's stop action and throw it in the hypo.
Ted, this is insane.
Fast film, slow exposure. It has to come out. That's what I told her. She said it might not be anything I'd want to keep. She was right. There's nothing here I want to keep. Who wants a picture of an empty chair?
You there, boy? Sit up now, look spry, step lively. This is your great-grandpa, and then some. My name? Well, I've been called Johnny Reb, and I've been called Billy Yank. But I'm a soldier. Civil War. Now, what you want to know about soldiering? Eh? Dry rations? Oh, sure, we had 'em. At Hagerstown, they give us something called desiccated vegetables. Well, desecrated vegetables, we called 'em. Looked something like a cake of soap and tasted worse. The cook would drop one in a kettle of water and stir it with the handle of a hospital broom till it was dissolved. The cake of vegetables, that is. Well, sir, it looked something like a dirty brook with all the dead leaves floating around. Nobody ever figured out what vegetables it was made up of, but they must have been strong ones, judging from the language that they brung forth. Well, anyhow, the chaplain must have got wind of some of the remarks that went around, because they never give it to us again. Now, you boy, up there on your signal rock or down in your front line hole where the smell of camp cooking is miles away. Now, what do you pull out of your pack when eating time comes? Nourishment, man, plenty of it. Solid nourishment to keep you ready for fighting, and all wrapped up in little bits of packages that don't hardly weigh nothing, for which you can thank your lucky stars and stripes. I'll believe you me, son, it takes more than just men and guns and generals to make you an army. It not only takes a bunch of dang scientists figuring out ways to put the mostest eatin' in the leastest amount of space, but it takes a good quartermaster corps, too. Danged if it don't.
Theater 5 has presented Around the Corner from Nowhere, written by Winifred Wolfe, directed by Ted Bell. In the cast, June Graham, Jim Dukas, Jim Stevens, Eugenia Rawls, and Arlene Walker. Script editor, Jack C. Wilson. Original music by Alexander Vlastotsenko. Orchestra under the direction of Glenn Osser. Executive producer for Theater 5, Mr. Lee Bowman. We invite your comments. Write to Theater 5, New York 23, New York. That's Theater 5, New York 23, New York. This is Fred Foy speaking.
This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.